I'm starving, but I'm also knackered, so let's make some fancy toast. Hi everyone, it's Tasha and welcome to another recipe video, and today we're going to be making fig, pistachio and honey whipped ricotta toast. Timestamps are down below in the description if you want to skip the initial blah blah, but stick around just in case I say something that might actually answer some of your questions along the way later. I remembered we were making whipped ricotta toast with something, but I temporarily forgot with what. Because the beauty of this recipe is the whipped ricotta, which is the star of the show, is super versatile. We're not going to be flavouring it with anything strong, so you can actually use the whipped ricotta part of this recipe for any kind of fancy toast you want, sweet, savoury, both at the same time. Use it with fruit, use it with tomatoes. Tomato is actually fruit. You know what I mean. The reason why I'm both exhausted and hungry is because I've been fighting a stomach bug for the last week. Actually, the last couple of videos you saw were made well in advance because I went on holiday for a little while, so I needed a little bit of content to tide you guys over while I was away. But now I'm back, and of course I caught some sort of travel bug, and it's been absolute torture not being able to eat properly, but also really wanting food. I've really needed a meal, and they say one of the best things to eat when you're coming off a stomach bug is toast. We're well past that stage, so I don't mind putting a whole lot of other things that a doctor probably wouldn't prescribe on my toast, but I need a treat, and I need a super easy quick treat too. So with all that said, let's go to the kitchen and see how it's done. First, let's start with the bread, because as everyone knows, you can't have toast without bread. I have a nice fresh loaf here, thank you M&S, Marks and Spencer's. And this is a sourdough. You can pretty much use any bread you like, but for today we're going to be using sourdough, and I'm going to be taking some middle pieces, really very naughty, because I want the bigger pieces. Separate these a bit. These are quite small slices to be fair. Marks and Spencer's, you disappoint me with your cutting skills, come on. It does smell very good though, and the texture is perfect, so I'll give you points for that, M&S. And we're literally just going to stick these in the toaster. Sorry that I don't have a particularly aesthetic setup. Remember, I'm in a London flat, it's very pokey. I have about this amount of space to work with. So we've got our sourdough in, I'm going to do it 2 slices at a time. Let's do it. So these are our toast done. Yes, one or two look a bit pale, that is mostly the lighting, but listen. Oh, lovely and crunchy. I've put these on a cooling rack because we don't want them to get soggy, we want them to get nice and crisp as they cool. So let's set these aside and let's make our ricotta whipped ricotta, that's the way around. Now, most people use a food processor for this, but I'm actually going to use a stick blender because I can't be bothered to get my little food processor out. Actually, it's not that much bother, I'm just that lazy. Also, this is a bit easier to clean. And I'm going to put a whole 250 gram tub of ricotta cheese in here. This is full fat, by the way, I'm using full fat everything. Whoops. I'm going to add a tablespoonful of milk, whole milk again, just to loosen it up a tiny bit. And I'm going to blitz it up, and I will reduce the volume for you a bit because this thing is noisy. Oh, before I forget, I'm also going to add the tiniest pinch of salt, not too much. Let's carry on blending. And there we go, it is so silky smooth. So get rid of that bit there. Check it out, so lovely and smooth. Right, we're going to put this in a piping bag so we can pipe it onto our toast. Okay, let's bring back our toast. I've put them back on our chopping board because now they're nice and cool, they won't get soggy. And also because this next part's going to get a little bit messy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them a preliminary squeeze, I can't speak today, preliminary squeeze of honey, just like a really light drizzle over the top. This will give us a sandwich of sweetness. I need to take the little paper thing off. I was standing there squeezing like an idiot, nothing was coming out. There we go. Like I said, a really light amount because our next layer is also going to be a little bit sweet, but not a lot. So here we have our figs. These are actually quite tiny. Usually the figs I get are big, but I could only find the diddy ones. Here I have 2, which I have, This is what it looks like whole, but I split these ones into 4s because I thought they'd make a nice garnish. But for now we're going to use the slices to layer, and we're just going to do a single layer on each slice. How many slices of figs you need will depend on how many slices of toast that you want. Of course, also depends on how much of the ricotta you have, but today I'm just going to make 4, and I just sliced up 2 boxes of small figs, and there were about 8 mini figs in there, so do with that information as you will. This is just a really rough recipe. And now for my favourite part, we're going to pipe on some, what's this called again? Whipped ricotta. Oh my gosh, my brain today. So we're just going to pipe it on nice and thick. That was perfect. 4 slices of toast for the whole thing. Now remember I mentioned that sweetness sandwich? We're going to honey it up a little bit more, so another light sprinkling. And now I've got myself some handfuls of slivered pistachios, chopped will do 2. And now, trust me on this, we're going to put a little bit of freshly cracked black pepper. This is going to give it a bit of a pop, a bit of a zing. Actually, I hate those words, forget I said that. This is going to make it a little bit more refreshing and a little bit tongue-tingling. Trust me, it works. And for the final flourish, I'm going to put a few more vertically sliced figs on top. Gorgeous. I personally can't wait to get my teeth sunk into these. These probably need cutlery, but I foresee myself trying to take one in my hands and eat it. You know what? This calls for a slow-mo, maybe with a little extra honey. Let's do it. I am super excited for this. Why is my chin so shiny? I swear I just put powder on my face a second ago. Like I said, I'm starving, so I'm just going to go ahead and take a bite. Actually, before I do, let me explain why there is an order to this. The reason why I put the fig slices underneath the whipped ricotta is because I wanted to be able to take a bite and for the cream to not squish out everywhere. Anytime you have a sandwich with like a hard layer, a soft layer, and then another harder layer on top, you bite down, it comes out the other end without fail. So that's why I put the horizontal slices under the whip, and then I put a couple of extra slices of fig on top, just so you know it's pretty and you can see what's in it. Feel free to ignore my advice, of course, and put the whip on first onto the bread and then the fig slices on top, but do bear in mind once you take a bite, if you're not using a knife and fork, it might go everywhere. So you've been warned. Cheers. Delicious. Look, even the inside's gorgeous. That's the perfect breakfast / brunch. Oh, what a way to come out of a stomach bug. So there you go, fig, pistachio and honey whipped ricotta toast. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe video, and I hope you'll join me next Wednesday for my next one. Get the full written recipe on my blog tashcakes.com, follow me on Instagram, I'm tashcakes.tastes, and find me on TikTok too, I'm tashcakes there too, but my handle is food in slow motion. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. Give this video a like if you'd like to help other people find it. Comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular, and I will see you all next time. Be good, be nice, and have a good week.